Today, roller skiing is rapidly becoming a popular sport. It is a complete form of exercise suitable for everyone, not only future Olympic champions. Roller skiing is a great overall strength workout, which also improves balance, coordination, and rhythm. Once technique is mastered, roller skiing becomes a perfect harmony of motion. Then skiers may test their skills by taking new roads or paths not yet traveled, limited only by the boundaries of imagination. Classical technique is the most traditional and natural form of movement in roller skiing, as it is on snow. The diagonal stride is the core on which classical technique is based. The explosive extension of one foot, followed by gliding on the other, is the foundation for all other classical skiing techniques. In fact, it could be said that all other techniques are a modification of the diagonal stride to accommodate changing slopes and speeds. The diagonal is a spontaneous and harmonious mirroring of the simple movement of walking. It allows you to move up hills and across flats with the perfect coordination of the push of one leg with the pull of the opposing arm. The thrust or kick off one foot is immediately followed by the complete transference of body weight onto the opposite roller ski. Balance is maintained over the hips by flexing the leg with the foot remaining in front of the hips during glide. The upper body works in a cyclical fashion as the arms pass close to the body in a half-circle motion. The poles should always be planted with the hands leading and the poles angled back. For the advanced skier, the thrust of the leg becomes more powerful, causing the glide phase to be longer and the weight transfer from one foot to the other to happen quicker. To reach a high level of perfection, these actions must become second nature. The double pole technique is best utilized on the flat or in fast tracks. All propulsion comes from above the waist. This is a dynamic stroke. The skier leans forward with the upper body as the poles are planted, then bends at the waist as the poles push the hips through. As in the diagonal stride, the poles are planted at a backward angle. The skier becomes upright at the completion of the stroke, ready to use the mass of the body to help power another stroke. Use the kick double pole to conquer the top of an incline, or when conditions are too slow for a pure double pole and too fast to diagonal stride. This technique requires coordination between the kick and the double pole. An effective kick lofts the body forward onto the poles. Alternate kicking legs when performing this technique. Over certain types of terrain, it is possible to modify the kick double pole technique. It then becomes the diagonal stride with a double pole. Do this by swinging the arms forward and planting the poles as in the kick double pole, but use your legs in a normal diagonal stride fashion. From the diagonal stride motion, several variations can be executed. To round a curve on a slight incline without interrupting the fluidity of motion, the tail of the outside ski is opened wider and a more powerful swing and glide executed. By changing the coordination of the arms in relationship to the kick, the skier can execute the triple and finish strides. Both techniques are used to avoid unforeseen obstacles or when the terrain does not allow a normal pole plant. There are 3 ways to safely descend a hill. They are upright, bent over, and tucked. It is important in the upright position to distribute your body weight evenly on both skis while holding the arms semi-flexed and in front of the chest. The upper torso remains perpendicular to the ground and the knees and ankles are bent slightly. The poles are held mainly behind the skier. In the bent over position, the flex in the knees is increased while bending over at the waist. The elbows are slightly drawn in towards the waist. The tuck is used to achieve maximum velocity by compressing the body into the most aerodynamic form. To control speed on a steep downhill, use the snowplow. The amount of braking action is increased by the application of more pressure as you increase the angle of your skis. You can get the same results by alternating the plowing motion, one roller ski at a time. The slalom technique can be used effectively to control speed. Changing directions is done by lifting one roller ski and placing it down in the newly desired direction, then quickly lifting and placing the other roller ski alongside. To accentuate the direction change, repeat this exercise as many times as needed. Be dynamic and quick as you transfer your weight from one roller ski to the other. The position of the body is semi-tucked for maximum balance. Skating is a technique which produces higher speeds, and different speeds require different types of skating techniques. The open field, or V2 alternate skate, is done on flat, fast terrain. The legs skate while the arms double pull simultaneously to push off of only one leg. In other words, one double pull is executed for every 2 skates. It is important to bring the opposite foot in close to the weighted ski in order to achieve optimal glide and to be in a good position for the next push-off. With this skating technique, you can vary the coordination of the arms and legs. It is less tiring if you frequently change the side of pulling. The uphill or V1 skate is easier to learn because you glide less. Therefore, each stroke is shorter, requiring less balance. This technique is used for low speeds and for steep hills, since it is a more powerful technique and can be done at a higher tempo. When skating uphill, the V1 pulling motion is also executed every 2 skating strides. In certain conditions, for steep or uneven terrain, one pole is planted well ahead of the other. The V2 technique is used on flat stretches or slight inclines in order to build speed. The action of the legs is the same as the V1 skate, but the arms pull off during each skating push. The movement of the arms must be executed very quickly to facilitate the forward projection of the body and to sustain the coordination of the skating rhythm. In order to achieve good balance and optimal glide, the roller ski should be placed flat and then gradually rolled inward during the push. On very fast stretches of terrain, you can free skate without using poles. This is done by increasing the bend of the knees and ankles while skating alternately off each foot. The arms are swung to amplify the skating motion. This way, you can achieve further increase in speed. Once you have achieved a high level of skill, you can start the search for maximum glide and velocity. Now you are ready to relax enough on your roller skis to fully enjoy the surrounding natural beauty the outdoors offers. Learning the techniques described in this video will help a beginner to master balance and coordination over easier terrain. First, practice these preliminary exercises while standing with poles, then standing without them, and finally add motion. This will help build confidence on roller skis. The goal of these progressive exercises is to learn both classic and skating roller ski techniques. By following these steps, it is easier for a beginner to learn in a relaxed manner and to correctly understand each lesson. It will be then easier to gradually move toward perfecting the advanced techniques as previously shown.